Okay, we are discussing professionalism. Under professionalism, we have discussed ethical theories. Okay, and we also discussed last time moral principles. So ethics come from moral principles. Okay, what is considered good or bad. And we also looked at one example where a building, it was a hotel, it fell down in Kansas City in 1981, and then there was a big discussion about ethics which were involved in the project. Okay, so then they came up with, they started looking at the things which are, which we face as the engineers. Okay, so these are some of the common issues which we have. You have to make sure about safety. To ensure safety in your project, safety on your site. You have to accept some risk, meaning you cannot be 100% safe. You cannot be 100% good. Okay, there is always some element of risk here. So, for example, you can increase the safety of your project to a very, very high value, but that means your cost will also be millions. So, when you reduce your cost, you are accepting some risk, right? That if this thing happens, we will deal with it. Okay, so this is acceptable risk. Then you have to comply to standards and regulations from ministries and governments. You have to secure the information. You cannot give your information to anybody you want. You have to also take care of the environment. So you cannot do something which is good for your project or which reduces cost but which is harmful for the environment. You have to make sure your data is accurate. You have to protect yourself from conflict of interest. Examples I have given a number of times. You are interviewing your son for a job. It's conflict of interest. Okay. Then honesty, dishonesty. Should I lie? Should I hold the information? Should I cheat? And so on and so forth. Societal impact, meaning what will be the impact of my work on the society. And I gave the example. We have pyramids. We have forts. We have so many things which were built many, many years ago, right? Many, many centuries ago, but we are still using them, right? So it still has impact on our lives. Fairness, you have to treat everybody equally. If you have 10 workers, all of them should be equal in your eyes. Okay? Accounting for uncertainty, you cannot know for sure what will happen in the future. You cannot say this with 100% surety, 100% confidence that, for example, today the temperature will be this value. Can I say it with 100% certainty? Even if I say this, there is a chance of error, right? So all these things we need to deal with. Okay. So they came up with, and there are many others which are not listed here. So what should we do? How do we deal with all these things? Okay. So once they understood the importance of ethics and the problems which we face during our career as engineers, Abbott came up with a requirement that all engineering students during their graduation must gain the understanding and knowledge about engineering ethics. Okay. Abbott, what is Abbott? It's an organization I mentioned in lecture 1 as well. They give us certification that you can teach, or your degree is good. It is acceptable, okay, in the international scenario. So if you take this degree and you go to US or UK or Canada, they will accept the degree because it's accredited by this body, okay. So they dictate what we should teach you, okay. So anything you don't like, they are the responsible parties, okay, not us. We are massum and mystery. Okay? They are the criminals. Got it? Fine. Anything fine? Need coffee? No. So, they are saying that people who go into the market, who start their career as engineers, before starting, they should know about ethical responsibility. Okay, before starting their career, they should know about ethical responsibility. It's not like, okay, let me go in the job and I will learn. No. Okay, because we already saw the case study yesterday. The hotel fell down. More than 100 people were killed. You cannot allow somebody to experiment like this. I'm done. Okay, I'm learning. No. Before you go in the field, you should learn. So this thing will not happen when you, even if it's your first project. Got it? Can you allow 100 people to die if it's your first project? Oh, allow. Only 100 people. Right? Can we allow that? No. So we must know about ethical responsibilities before going in the field, and that is an ABET requirement now. Okay, so we have Engineering Code of Ethics. Engineering Code of Ethics is like a set of standards. Okay, like we have standards for designing, okay, for designing structures. We have standards for ethics as well. Okay, so these standards help us to make laws and regulations. Okay, the laws and regulations which are used in the industry, they are made on the basis of code. Okay, for example, every country has laws, right? Bahrain has laws, right? For license, for construction, okay, for education, for health, they have laws, right? How do they make up the laws? First of all, they decide upon a code that we are going to follow this code. Okay, for example, all our residents and all our citizens they have the basic right to protect their lives. Okay, clear? This is a code. Then they will make the health laws which will be according to the code. Got my point? Okay, clear? Code tells you what should happen, and laws will tell you how we will make this happen. Got my point? Okay, so code is what? Once you graduate, you should have the knowledge of civil engineering. How we will make this happen? You have the laws for attending the class, you have the laws for exam, you have the laws for this. Got my point? So code tells you or gives you the foundation, the basis, on the basis of which you will make your laws. Okay? So engineering profession have their code of ethics, and using these code of ethics we make our laws. Most of the things I will mention here, they are universally accepted. Okay, they are universally accepted across all fields of engineering. So it's not only for civil engineers. I will mention some which are especially for civil engineers as well. Okay, I will mention some which are given by a body of civil engineering, but you will see that they are universally accepted and they are the same in whichever field of engineering you are. Okay. Okay. So as I mentioned, codes are not laws, but we can use them to make laws and regulations. Second thing is ethics is not always protected by the law, so that we have to go back and look at the code. Sometimes the law is not there. Okay, but what you are doing is wrong. I know it's wrong. Okay, you get my point. For example, I don't tell my client about something which happened on the site. Okay, there was a question like this in the exam as well. You have to tell the client this. In the contract, it does not mention that I have to tell him. It was a question about government inspection. Okay, so whenever the government inspection happens, it happens every week. I don't need to tell the client. Okay, got my point? I don't need to tell the client. But this time, when the people from government came, they said that after 1 week we will block your site because we have some other event happening. Okay, so law says I don't need to tell the client, but should I not tell the client? This will affect this project. Get my point? Clear? So that's why we need the code of ethics. So when the law is not written, we go back and see the code. Like I gave the example of the code of the country. You have to protect the life of your citizens, right? So somebody comes up with a new technology, okay, in your phone, or somebody comes up with a new material. Material is very strong, very cheap. Okay? There is no law against the material. There is no law against the material. Okay? But if I use this material, it will have harmful chemicals which will affect my health. So now you see, the law is not against the material. The law is for what? The code is code says what? Protect my life. So if you use this material, it will be harmful for me. Get my point? Okay? So whenever something new comes up, or whenever something is not in the law, I'll go back to the code and I can make the law. Got my point? Everybody, here. Okay. Now why companies should care? I told you these code of ethics are universally accepted. People accept them. Why they accept them? Because companies realize it is good for our business. Accepting these code of ethics, accepting or doing the work in an ethical manner is good for our business. Why? I've given the example earlier as well. So you do something in the project which was not in the design. You save your money. Okay? You save your money. Okay. Later on there are some problems in the project. Okay? Two things can happen. The client is a normal guy. He does not know about design and those things. He didn't know what you did. So okay, but he knows that you made this project. So if there's a problem with this project, who is responsible? Will he come back to you for the next project? He will not, right? Okay, he will not. Even if he does not know about design, he knows you did a bad job, right? Clear now? Okay, this is one scenario. The other scenario is even worse. What is the other scenario? The client knows about design. He is himself an engineer or something, or he thinks I am an engineer. Okay, so he goes back to the drawing and he says, okay, this pipeline is coming from here. Okay, the design doesn't show here. So you did something against the design. Now he can take you to the code. Once the thing goes in the code, it's not like, okay, the pipeline was 2000 BD, take 2000 BD and go. It's not like this. When it goes to the code, 2000 BD can become 20,000 BD. Because you have to pay the lawyer, you have to go to the code, and he will ask for compensation because the building is already prepared. He will say, I have to do this. Okay? So it's multiple times. The compensation will be, the fine will be multiple times. It's not like, okay, damage of 1000 BD, take 1000 BD. It's not like this. So you see, both scenarios are not good for you. If the client catches that you did something wrong, he will take you to the court and so on. The first scenario, he doesn't know about the design, but still you are responsible. What my point? Why these things are happening? Because you did something against the ethics. You should not change the design. You cannot change the design. What my point? Okay, so that's why. So a company will not want to be in any of these situations, right? You don't want your client to be dissatisfied with you. You want them to satisfy, right? Okay. And at the same time, you don't want to go in the court as well. But no. So in both cases, you are losing your business, and you will lose your money, and you will lose your time and your reputation and so on. Okay. And it goes to the court. Everybody knows they are the liars. Okay. Clear? So the point was, why code of ethics are accepted by the companies, even if it costs them extra, it will take more money, it will take more time, but they know it is good for the business in the long run. In long term, this is good for our business. Okay, so that's why they try to follow it. Okay, some of the codes of ethics that we will discuss, you can go through the slides. Okay, given. Okay, the name of the books and everything, you can download them. Directly go to the text. Okay. We have some professional society who will provide us the code of ethics. We want a code of ethics, right? We want to follow a code of ethics. Who will provide that? Okay. So we have professional societies which provide us the code of ethics. Okay. I told you earlier, if you finish your bachelor's, okay, you graduate. University will give you a certificate, right? Okay. Are you a professional engineer now? No? What are you doing? Oh, have fun. When will you become a professional engineer?
Experience.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else?
When I get more knowledge.
More knowledge? You didn't get knowledge in these 4 years. What will you get now? Yes. How do you become, okay, let me change the question. How do you officially become a professional production engineer, officially.
Professional bodies approve you.
They will give a license. They will give a license, right? Many of you are drivers even before you get the license, right? You know how to drive. You know how to drive. No? Nobody catches you while driving. I don't know. Somebody is still doing this. Somebody is still doing this? No? Everybody has a license, right? Okay. You can kill me. So, officially, somebody should give you a license, right? So the bodies, the societies which give you the license, they make the code of ethics. If you follow them, they will give you the license. If you don't follow them, they will cancel your license. Same thing happens with the driving license, right? If you follow the traffic rules and regulations, fine. If you don't follow them, they will give you the fine. If you keep on breaking them, they will cancel the license, right? It happens, right? It happens, just keep it in mind, it happens. Okay? So don't break too many laws. So even they give license to the companies as well. If you are following the ethics as an engineer, they will give you the license as an engineer, as an individual, as a person. If the company is following the rules and regulations, they will give them the license as well. Okay? Yeah? And there are other bodies as well which give the license for their work because they are big clients. For example, Ministry of Work. Ministry of Work is a big client, right? They are doing all the highways and all the bridges and all the airports and all the housing. See? Okay? So they give another sort of certificate or license for their job. Only these companies can do our job, which have our license. Okay? But the point is, why should they give you the license? If you are following the code of ethics. If you are following their rules and regulations, then they will give you the license. If you are not following them, they will not give you, or if you already have it, they will cancel it. Got my point? Clear? So that's why we have professional bodies. One of them I will show you. Okay. Yeah. These bodies, they don't do research and come up with new laws and regulations. This is not their mandate. Okay. Their mandate is to know what is commonly acceptable in the industry, what is commonly considered good by the engineers, and they make it a part of the ethics. They make it part of their code. What am I? It's not like they are doing research and they are looking at the brain and so on, what is good, what is bad. Okay, nothing like this. Okay, they just have the general perception, and if it is good, they take it. If it is not good, they put it in the other side. Okay. Because of this, every society may have a different code of ethics, or may have some changes in their code of ethics. So we have a society in Bahrain, okay, and we may have another society which is in Pakistan. Both of them are giving the license to civil engineers. Their code of ethics could be slightly changed because there are few things which are considered good in Pakistan but not here. Okay, same thing with US, same thing with Canada. Okay, so every country, every society in every country may have a different, slightly different code of ethics. Slightly, doesn't change much. I will show you. Okay, not many changes, but there could be. What the point? Because it is based on what is considered good in that country, in that situation. Got it? Okay. And obviously the field as well. What is considered good in civil engineering may not be considered good in electrical or mechanical. Okay. 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 When you have code of ethics, few things you need to keep in mind. The first thing is that you may have the same law and the same code, but people may come to different answers because of the law, because of the code. For example, in your contract, it is written when the work is finished, the payment will be released to the contractor after 1 month. Okay, and the next point says in the 1 month, the client will finish all the inspection, all the tests, all the final service. Okay, got it? Both of them are in the same contract. Okay, after 1 month, the contractor calls the client, give me my money. And he says, I need more time. And then the contractor says, but 1 month is already finished. Is he right or wrong? Right. Okay. The client says, yes, 1 month is finished, but the project is so big, I need more time to do the inspection and the survey and so on. It's written in the contract that I should give you the money after I do the final inspection, right? Is the client right or wrong? He's wrong. It's written it's in the contract that the money, and it's common sense, right? Why should I pay you the money if I do not check your work? Makes sense? Okay? And the law says, it's written in the contract, he should give you the money after he does the inspection. Okay? So according to their mindset, both of them are correct. Okay? Both of them are correct. Okay? So that's why we need the code of ethics. You have to go back and check. Okay? How to resolve this situation now. Okay? So, like I give the case studies, you must try to apply the code of ethics in different case studies to see what happens. Okay, yeah. The code of ethics are also subject to changes. Okay, it's not something which is written in heavens. We are writing it. Who are the people in the engineering societies? They are human beings, right? Okay, and what about the field? Every day new thing is coming up. Something new is coming up every day. You cannot have the same code and the same laws and the same rules as 1 year ago. Okay? And I know for a fact that even till the COVID was over, we did not have any law, any rule, any regulation about AI writing. Nothing. You can use it, yeah, by the way, you can use it. But how much you can use it, and after you use it, what you should do, there are laws for it. That's my point. And these laws are made maybe within 1.5 years. You open the university website, you will see. Okay? Not this university, all universities. See, big change. How many universities are in the world? Many, right? Thousands, maybe more than 1,000, right? All of them change their laws because something new came up, right? Okay. And these regulations are also, you go to any organization which do writing work, like publishers, you will see a law for AI writing. Okay. So anybody who is involved in writing, either they are universities, schools, colleges, publishers, or courts, and so on, they have now laws for AI writing. Why? Because things have changed. Now people are writing using AI. What my point? Okay. So these code of ethics are never final. Never final. Okay. Why? 2 reasons. One reason is us. We change. Our thinking change. We get new data. We get new ideas. Okay. We come in new situations. Right? Okay. So then we change according to what we are experiencing. Okay. It's not by Allah. So change it. Okay. And secondly, things are changing. Got it? So code of ethics also are changed. And that's why we need to be updated, and that's why we should have the understanding of how they are made. Okay. These are 2 laws which you will find. I'm telling you right now, and later on you will see them as well. These are 2 common laws which you will find universally across all fields and in all countries. Okay. The first one is engineers are responsible for the safety and health of public. Anything which goes against safety and health should be avoided completely. What my point? Clear? Anybody has gone to any site visits? Have you taken any site visit? They have gone to, right? So before they start the site visit, they do what? They give you a short presentation about?
No, I didn't get a presentation, but I review the drawings.
Did you get to go to the site or just the office?
No, site.
Site. So before you enter the site, they give you something to wear?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So somebody else was saying something? Okay. So even if you go to the site for 2 hours for a visit, they will give you a safety briefing. And they'll ask you to wear the helmet and waist and so on. Okay. It's part of the requirements. Why? Because this is our main, most important, most common rule. Okay, anything which goes against safety and health should not be allowed. Even in the office. It's not like, okay, I'm sitting in the office, so there is no problem here. No. The light, the AC, you have to maintain these things because it's affecting the health of the person, right? Okay. People can go to court, take you to the court, telling that this person has caused me mental stress. It happens. Okay? And this is allowed, very common. Okay? So, health and safety is, it's very important, and safety comes above everything else. Safety comes above everything else. Okay? So, even if you have other conflicts of interest, other issues, other problems, but there is a safety problem, I will accept the other problems and solve safety. Got my point? Okay? If there is a bargain, if you have to compromise, safety or cost? Safety. Safety or time? Safety. Got my point? Okay. Okay, some limitations for code of ethics. Code of ethics are general, they don't give you specific requirements, they don't give you specific laws, and in some cases, people can use them in different ways. For example, it may say in the code that the engineer on the site is responsible for all activities of the site. Looks good, right? Engineer on the site should be responsible for all activities of the site. Any problem with that? Any problem with that? No. Okay. So the design engineer or the client says, I want the height to be 10 feet. Okay. And the engineer says, okay, let us make it 11 feet. Or let me make it 9 feet. Okay. Should we do that? Should we do that? We shouldn't do that, right? Everybody agrees we shouldn't do that, right? Okay. But in the code it's not specifically mentioned. What am I going? Okay. So the statements in the code are normally general, which applies to like 99% of the cases. But there can be few special cases where you need to think, should I do that or not? Okay. Clear, Mama? Then make my point clear. Okay. Yeah. There could be some clauses which are coming in conflict with each other. So you have to decide which one should I follow. Okay. So I am the site engineer. There is one clause in the agreement which says for any major changes I should take approval of the consultant and I should inform the client. Make sense? Any major changes, get it approved from the consultant, inform the client. Any problem with that? No problem. Okay. Any problem with the safety, site engineer should deal with that issue then and there. Any problem with that? There's safety issue. Somebody is about to die, something about to fall. Okay. So site engineer should take action and make decision and take action immediately. Any problem? Clear? Okay. So now there is a problem on the site. Something is about to fall. If I do something, it will increase the cost by 10,000 BT. The contract says this much. Go to who? Consultant. First take the approval from the consultant. Okay, so you found that if I make the column like this, I'm already doing like this. Okay, if I continue, it will fall. Okay, so I'll make the changes there. Okay, or something happened with the material. There was a tank, the tank is about to blow up or something. So safety, I should take the action immediately. I'm following the clause. But the other clause says what? Go to the consultant, take the approval, inform the client, then do it. You see the problem now. Two clauses in the same agreement and they are going against each other in this situation. So I have to decide which one will I follow and which will I ignore. Okay? Everything cannot be followed in all situations. Got my point? Clear? Okay. Yeah. So code of ethics cannot be taken as a final moral authority. These are just laws, and people will decide eventually what to do. Okay, so the client and the contractor and the consultant, they can decide that we will go in this way, no problem. Okay, in the end, these are people who have to decide and agree on something. If they agree on, all of them agree on something, they can move on. Okay. And last thing I already mentioned, that they are not final, they keep on changing. Okay. Yeah, so there is a National Society of Professional Engineers. So from this slide onwards, I will give you the guidelines which are given in Code of Ethics by 3 different societies. Okay. National Society of Professional Engineers, NSPE, and 2 others. Okay. One of them from Bahrain, one of them from other country, but for civil engineers. This is for all engineers. Okay, and more detailed as well. Okay, so according to NSPE, National Society of Professional Engineers, they say engineering is an important profession, right? We agree, all of us agree, no problem with that. Okay, people who don't agree, get out of class. Okay, very important. Okay, they are expected to exhibit highest standard of honesty and integrity. Okay, engineers should show highest level of honesty and integrity. Honesty, you know, right? Everybody knows honesty. Honesty is the best policy, right? Okay, what about integrity? Integrity means what? Not integration, okay? Not differential than integration, not that. Integrity like in a person. What is a person? What is the integrity of a person? You can Google, no problem. Google, chat, whatever.
Doing the right things.
Doing
the right things.
Doing that, right?
Right things.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes, anybody else?
Being honest, trustworthy, and having strong principle in your individual behavior.
Being honest and then?
Trustworthy and having strong principle in your individual.
Okay, so honesty is a part of integrity. Okay, but all other qualities are also part of, or the good qualities are also part of integrity. All the good moral values are part of integrity. Okay, being kind, being helpful, being generous. Okay, these are all part of integrity. Okay, whatever good qualities you have in your personality, they are all part of integrity. And what are they saying? Engineers must show the highest quality of these characteristics. Okay, they must show these characteristics to the highest level. So imagine what is expected from us. Okay, or from you. I'm a teacher, right? No code of ethics only. Okay. So the services provided by the engineer require honesty, fairness, and equity. I mentioned earlier, this is also part of integrity as well. That when you are treating others, you treat them equally. Okay, whether they are your friends or enemies. In your workplace, they are same. Yeah, outside the workplace, I will kill someone, I will do party with another one. That's fine. Okay, but in the workplace, they are same. Okay, so fairness and equity, and you must be dedicated to 2 things we already mentioned: health and safety, and they have mentioned the 3rd thing as well: welfare. Okay, the work which you are doing, you should treat everybody in your work equally, and your work should not be harmful to public health, should not be harmful to safety, and it should be of welfare of the people. It should have some benefit for the person. Okay, this is how we define profession as well. Profession is something which is beneficial. Okay, so welfare means something which has some benefit. So engineers must be doing something which are beneficial. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we mentioned. According to NSPE, they divided their code into 3 parts. NSPE code, National Society of Professional Engineers, their code of ethics is divided into 3 parts. Okay, fundamental canons, rules of practice, and professional obligations. Fundamental canons means the things which you have to keep in mind in all situations. Rules of practice, how you will apply them. So they tell you what you should do. This tells you how you should do it. Okay, and obligation is something which you must do. Okay, obligation is something which you have to, which you must do. Okay, for your convenience, the Arabic is written as well. These are the fundamental canons. I believe there are 6, yes. 6 of them. Okay, 6 of them. So, Code of Ethics says that you must fulfill all these 6 points in all situations. The first one is already mentioned, right? Okay, the most common, the most important. Okay, you should only perform things which are in your area. Perform things which are in your area. Okay, so you are civil engineer, you will only deal with the things which are related to civil engineering. Don't go into accounts. Let these people do their job. Okay. If you are issuing any public statement doesn't mean I will come on TV and say something. Nowadays, public statement means if I post something on Instagram, that's a public statement. Okay. If I put something on my status on WhatsApp, it's a public statement. Everybody will see it, right? Clear? So if you are doing something, if you are making a public statement, be objective and truthful. Be objective and truthful. Okay? Truth you understand, right? The opposite of truth is what? Lie. Okay? So you should not lie. Okay? You should not lie, cheat and deceive. Objective means what? What is the meaning of objective? Let me give you an example. Tell you what. So there are 2 things, objective and subjective. They are opposite of each other. Okay? So opposite of truth is lie. Opposite of objective is subjective. Okay, I'll give you 2 statements. Today temperature is 32 degrees Celsius. One statement. Another statement. Today temperature is very high. Both are about the same thing, right? I'm telling you about the temperature of today. One, temperature is 32 degrees Celsius. Another one, temperature is high. Which one is objective? The first one is objective. Which was what? I forgot. 32. Okay, where I give you the value. Right? Okay, this is when you are more specific, more accurate, this is objective. When you are giving your opinion, this is subjective. Okay, so high temperature can mean 32 for me and 40 to you. Okay, somebody comes from Canada, 20 is high for him. Got the point? Okay, so being objective is complementary. Okay, I can say high, but that means I'm just giving my opinion. So I'm not completely truthful. Okay, like I can deceive you, right, by not giving the value. Okay, so being objective makes you more truthful. It gives more accuracy to your statement. Okay, you should be acting on behalf of your employer and your client. So you have 2 parties. In engineering, we always, especially in civil engineering, we always have 2 parties. Okay, one is your boss, who is giving you salary. The other is your client. Okay, your boss is not your client. Client is the guy for which you are doing the construction, the guy for which you are doing the design. Okay, he hired your company. What my point? So for both of them, for employer and the client, for boss and the client, you should take the responsibility and you should try to fulfill it to the best of your ability. Okay, the point they are using is trustees. So they can trust you with anything. They can trust you with their resources. They can trust you with their money. They can trust you with your job. Okay, so don't break their trust. avoid misleading acts. Okay, anything which you know, so hiding some information from the drawing, this is misleading. Not reporting it properly, this is misleading. Okay, not doing the tests for materials, this is misleading. Avoid misleading acts. Okay, and try to increase the honor and usefulness of the profession. Whatever you can do to develop the profession, you should do it. Okay, as an engineer, this is part of our code of ethics, that we should try to benefit the profession as well. Okay, how? We should all become Elon Musk, right? So he invented something new, right? So when they invent something new, the whole profession goes up, right? See, now we have something new. Okay, so whatever you can do to help the profession, and we will discuss in more details later on. Okay, under each fundamental law, under each fundamental canon, now we will see how to apply it. What are the rules of practice under each fundamental canon? Okay, under each fundamental law, what are the rules of practice? How will you apply it? So what are we trying to do? Maintain health, safety and welfare. How we will do it? By doing this. Okay, what I was saying, yeah, your judgment will be overruled if it is going against safety or health or welfare. Okay, if you are making any judgment which is going against the safety or health, your judgment will be overruled. Okay, so you are saying that we can do the work in this way. Somebody is outside. Okay, so your judgment is saying if you use this material, it will be very good for the project, it will be so and so and so and so forth. But in the laboratory, they found that this material has some harmful chemicals, so your judgment is overruled. Okay, you say that if we do the job without the helmet and without the waist, people will move faster and it will finish early. Okay, but it's against safety. So your judgment is overruled. Got my point? Okay. So the point is, anything goes against safety, even if the engineer is saying it, the boss is saying it, we will not do it. Okay, you can lose your job, no problem. Okay, yeah, only approve things which are conforming to the standards. Okay, the standard safety standards, the country standards, all these standards are there to make sure of these things. How do we make the standards? How do we make the laws and regulations according to these things? Okay. So only approve those things which are with the standards, which are conforming to the standards. Got my point? So for example, I can make this design, I can design this room with concrete. This is with concrete. Okay. I can design the same room with wood. I can design the same room with glass. Okay. All of them are allowed. Okay. So somebody may select a glass design, somebody may select a wood design, somebody may select a concrete design. Okay, all of them are allowed. But the standard says, whatever design you are using, the height of the room should be 4 meters. Standard. For a classroom, height of the room should be 4 meters. Okay, clear? So, wood design, concrete design, allowed. But reducing the height, not allowed. So you can compare between things which are within the standards, and you can select one of them. But anything against the standard, you cannot say, no, it was cheap, or it was good, or the appearance was good. No, it is that against the standards, you will not approve it. Got my point? Clear? Okay. Yeah, if you want to share any information outside your organization or even within the organization with someone, you should take the consent of the party which is involved in the information. Okay, your client, your boss. Okay, so information should not be shared unless the agreement or consent is taken by the relevant party. Okay, you should not let anybody use your name which are involved in something dishonest. Okay, I'll give an example which happens in Pakistan as well. I'm not sure about here. companies will come to you, we need to go for certification or we need to go for the project. The client is saying, I need 10 engineers in the company. Our company only has 8 engineers. So let us use your name. Don't work for us. We'll pay you, just use your name. It happens. Okay? Is it honest or dishonest? Dishonest, right? So you cannot say, no, I'm not working and they are a good company. No. They are doing something dishonest, I will not become a part of it. What my point? There? So do not use your name in anything which is dishonest. What happened? Okay, go ahead. Come here. Give me. You should not drink. If it rings, I will answer. I will say, ma'am is busy. Okay. What else? Yeah, and you do not help anyone which is going against the law or against the standards or against the code of ethics. Okay. So these points are saying you do not do anything yourself which is against the law, and you do not help anyone do these things. Okay. If you come to know about anything which is against the law, yes, you should not do it. But that doesn't mean you keep quiet and let others do it. Okay, if you see anything against a standard, you should report it to the concerned authority. Okay, for example, you see something on the site which is against safety. So there is a safety engineer on the site. You should go and report to that guy. You see something which is against the law, against the regulation, government regulation. You should report it to the government body. Okay, what I want? Okay, so these points are saying basically, do not get involved in anything which is against the law. Do not help anyone do it. Do not help anyone to do these type of things. And if you see these things, report it. Okay, the second fundamental principle was perform things which are related to your area. Okay, so how do we apply that? You should only take assignments. So your boss gives you a job or you are involved in a project, make sure that project is related to your field. Okay, so we will only take assignments or jobs which are related to what? Accounts, right? Yes, come on. Civil engineering. Okay. Civil engineering. You are in the right class, right? I had this incident earlier. Somebody attended half my class and he said, are you not teaching English? He left. Okay. I'm teaching in introduction to profession, engineering program, not accounts. There? Okay. Where you are using your name, or signature, okay, or a stamp, make sure that that thing is related to your field. Okay, so somebody comes to you in your office, or your boss comes to you in your office, and he says, I have this electrical installation drawing. Okay, it is prepared by this person. He is a good man, and the drawing is correct. I know it is correct. Just sign it. Okay, should we do it? No, it's not related to my field. Even if it is correct. Even if it is correct, I should not use my name with that thing. Clear? Okay. Yeah. In some cases, you are looking at the whole project. You are the project manager. Okay? Or you are the project director. So you are looking at 10 projects, 10 different projects. Okay? I am the manager, so I am one guy, right? But do I know everything in the project? Do I know everything in the project? I know?
The main things.
The main things. Okay. And what about the unmain things? I know the man things, right? Not the women things. Huh? So what should we do about those things? What I don't know. Whatever they are. I must get it checked by someone who knows them. Now it is my responsibility to make sure that those things are approved by someone who knows them. Clear? Okay. So you will approve what you know. But as a manager, you are involved in things which you don't know. So you have to get it approved from someone who knows it. Okay, so get someone who is a specialist. Okay. Yeah, when you are giving information, do it in an objective and truthful manner. So how do we do it? Your information which you are giving should be neutral and truthful. I gave the example of the temperature, right? When I say temperature is very high, is it neutral? No, I am already making your mind it is high. Maybe it is only 20 degrees. Okay? Clear or not? So, neutral means do not attach your opinion with it. Okay? Like temperature is very high or this material is very good. Okay? If they ask for your opinion later on, fine. Okay? But right now, you give them facts. You give them facts. Okay? Facts and figures. That's it. Okay. So any reports, anything evidence you got from others, you include it in your statement. Okay. So this is the thing you have to do. You have to be truthful. You have to be neutral. Yeah. The information which you are giving should be you can express your opinion based on the facts and knowledge which you have. Okay. So you do not give your opinion about things which are from the other field. Okay. So somebody asks you about air conditioning. Okay. So you don't need to give your opinion. Just tell them this is not my field. That's it. Clear? Okay. So public statements are considered very serious. Okay. So that's why we have all these rules. Yeah. If obviously I'm from a particular company, right? Okay. So I'm from University of Bahrain, right? When you will go in the field, somebody will hire you. Inshallah. Say inshallah. Yes. So somebody will hire you, right? Okay. When you are giving these statements, make sure your affiliation is disclosed. Okay. For example, if I say the standards of education in Bahrain are very, very high, and I just put my name under it. Okay. Somebody who does not know that I'm from here will take my opinion in a different way. But if I write standards of education in Bahrain are very high, Uneb, Gazder, University of Bahrain. It's different, right? This guy is there already. Okay? So your trust level will be different. Got my point? Okay? So somebody who says solar panels are very good way to save energy and they are very good for the environment and so on and so forth. Okay? They put their name under it, fine. Okay? Maybe they are right. Okay, fine. But under his name now he puts CEO of solar company Sanaf. Now the opinion is different, right? Now you will take this information in a different way because this guy is now part of this company. Maybe I should trust him, maybe I should not trust him. Okay, let me decide. Okay, but you do not withhold any information about yourself. Show your affiliation. So the people who are reading your statement, they can decide whether to trust you or not trust you. What happened? Okay. The fourth fundamental canon was you should act as a trustful person for your employer and for your client, your boss and your client, both of them. How do we do that? If you have any conflict of interest, I mentioned it earlier as well, you should go. Like they don't have to find out. You should go and disclose it. Okay? So I've given this example many times. You are hiring someone, okay, and your son applies in the company. Now you have to do the interview. Okay, your son tells you, or he comes home and he said, Dad, I applied to your company. Okay, now what you should do is stay silent. Okay? Don't tell anyone. Okay, after you are hired, you will see. No. Your responsibility is you have a conflict of interest, go and tell your boss yourself. Okay? Any conflicts of interest should be disclosed by yourself. Okay? If you don't disclose it, that means you are dishonest. Got my point? Clear? Okay. You should not take any, you should not take anything from somewhere, somebody who is working on your project outside your organization, unless it is agreed by your client and employer and everybody. Because if he is giving you something, he is expecting something, right? What's the point? If I give you some money or some gift or anything, I will expect you to give me something as well in return. Okay? So that's why you cannot take money from more than one party for the same project. Okay? If this happens, it doesn't happen here in the residential industry. It happens in Pakistan. So for example, you go to buy a house. So you will go to an agent. Okay? You want to buy it and somebody else wants to sell it. So he will take commission from me because I want to buy it. Okay? And he will do the paperwork and everything. So he will take money from me and he will also take money from the other guy. So now he is taking money from both of us, right? Can he go against me and pay him? Can he go against the other guy? He is paying him. Okay, so now you see he has to maintain both of us, which is not possible. You cannot do this. Okay, so he has to be in favor of one of us. Okay, because I want to give less money, he wants to get more money. So how can one guy do both of them? You get my point? I give him money to do the deal. He is giving him money to do the deal. But we both want something completely opposite from the same deal. How can he do that? Can he do that? No. Okay. The price will be either high or low. Okay. So either he is against me or he is against the other guy. Okay. So this is what they are saying. If you take money from different parties for the same job, then you have to be dishonest to one of them. Okay. I know this happens when they are buying and selling the cars. There are people, not official agents, but there are people who you talk to them, they will say, okay, we will find a car for you, they will take money from you, they will take money from the other guy. This happens. So same, you understand the phenomenon now. You understand the problem. Okay? I want something from the project, he wants something from the project. And you are taking money from both of us. So you are either taking my money for no reason or his money for no reason. Okay? You have to be on one side. Okay. Yeah. You should not take any money or anything from parties which are outside your project to do your job. Okay. Should not take anything from parties which are outside the project to do your job. For example, you are taking money from a supplier. Now, to hire a supplier is part of your job, right? To have a supplier for a project is part of your job. If you take money from that guy, now, you will hire him. What about the others? That's not right. So, we do not take anything from people who are outside the work for doing our own job. If you take it, this is dishonest. Because that guy will say, now you took money from me, or you took this gift from me, do something for me. Okay? And you are already doing your job. So, taking this money or taking this gift, you are saying that, yeah, I will do my job according to you. Get my point? Okay. Yeah. If you are in a government body, okay, so there should not be two people from the same organization in the same body for the government organizations. Okay, this is according to their code. And you can understand the reason. For example, there are 10 people in a committee, the government formed a committee, okay, and the committee there are 10 people. Out of these 10 people, 2 of us are from the same organization. So what we will do, we will try to protect our organization in the committee. Okay, or we will always support each other. Okay, so it's a conflict of interest. Okay, so if you know somebody is already in this committee and you are from the same organization, don't participate. Okay, you disclose that I cannot be here because then there will be too many people from our organization. Okay. Okay, this one and what else? Yeah, okay. Decision making for government organizations, decision making is not the mandate of the engineer. Decision making is not the job of the engineer in government organizations. because this is why we have elections, right? In elections, you make your representative, right? You put the vote, okay, this guy is my representative in the assembly or in the council or whatever. Okay? So this guy should make the decision because you have elected him to be your representative. As an engineer, you can give him your information, which is required for the decision, but you should not make the decision yourself. Okay, the fifth fundamental principle was you should not be involved in any misleading acts. Okay, so first misleading act is for yourself. Okay, do not make up information and data about yourself. Okay, there I know 10 different softwares. I'm very good at presentation. I took the degree from UK. Okay, I have worked on so and so big project. I was working for 3 years on NEOM project and 5 years on Burj Khalifa project before that. Okay, so you have to be honest in your CV. Simple. Be honest in your CV. Okay, so anything which you are using, okay, from your about yourself, it should be honest. Okay. Yeah, you should not be involved in anything to get the project which is misleading or which is dishonest. For example, there is the government. So before they announce, when they have to give the project, they have to make an announcement that, and people according to the announcement will submit their proposals, and the best proposal will win the project. Understand the procedure? The client will make the announcement. Okay, people will read the announcement. They will submit the proposal. They will evaluate the proposal. The best proposal will win. Okay. Okay. Now you have a guy who is in with the client organization. Okay, and you tell that guy whenever there is a new project, you tell me in advance before making the announcement. Okay, and make the announcement late so the others will have less time. So he called me. I'm going to make an announcement after 1 week. So I'm prepared. Okay, he made the announcement. He gave only 2 days in the announcement. I already have a week extra, right? So my proposal is better. Okay, and before I submit the proposal, I asked him what were the others submitting? What is their quotation? How much money they are asking for? What is their price? So he tells me the least price is 10,000 BD. Okay, I will pay 9,000 BD. My price is less, right? I will get the project. Okay, so this is what they are saying. To win the project, you cannot get involved in any illegal activities. Okay, you cannot offer someone any commission. Okay, or any gift or any bribe or anything like this. Okay, I will give you this and this. Make sure I get this project. Okay, this all comes under misleading acts. Okay, so misleading about yourself and misleading about your project or about your quotation. Okay, you cannot do any of these things. Okay, now we move on to professional obligations. Okay, do you want a break? Huh?
Yes, we want.
Oh, sure. 5 minutes. Okay, so we have talked about the fundamental canons and how do we apply them. Okay, one by one, what are the rules of practice under each fundamental law. Okay, and then we have the professional obligation. Okay, obligation is something which you have to do, which you have to perform. Okay, so it's not under any circumstance that you can ignore it. Okay, and I told you nobody has to assign you anything. Obligation is you are not assigned. You are an engineer, you should have it. You have to do it. Okay, so under the first fundamental canon, you have under the first professional obligation is you should show highest standards of honesty and integrity. Okay, so what are the highest standards of honesty and integrity? These are the things which are included here. The first thing is, if there is any problem, any error in your work, first of all, accept the responsibility. Okay, for any error in your work, you accept the responsibility and then you try to correct it. Well, if there is any error, any problem in your work, you accept the responsibility and try to correct it. Okay, you should tell your client, or your boss honestly if a project is not going to be successful. Okay, it's not like, I know if I do it like this project will fail, but I don't want to say it to my client because I will lose the project. Get the point? This is what happens. Reality. If you tell the client this project will be unsuccessful, will he do it? He will not do it. If he does it, who will get the money? Your company. Okay? But this is against honesty. This is against honesty and integrity. Something is going to fail, you tell your client and boss that it will not work, even if you do not get the project in the end. You should not accept any extra work outside your organization which will affect your work and against the laws of the employer, against the laws of your company. Okay? Clear? So you have to keep in mind two things. First of all, you accept something which will be harmful to your work in this company. Okay? So for example, I'm working in a company 8 to 4. Okay? And then I accept a work somewhere else which will start at 4 o'clock. To reach here at 4, I must leave here early, right? Okay? So I say, okay, it will take me 1 hour to go there. So I will leave at 3 o'clock. Now what are you doing? You are accepting that job and you are giving less time in your job, right? So this is not allowed. You should not do that. Get my point? Okay? In some cases, the law does not allow you to take part into any job. For example, me. Okay? I am hired by University of Bahrain. I have a contract with the university. I am there. So my weekends are free. But it doesn't mean I can start doing another job on the weekend. Even if the university does not call me on the weekend. Does not matter. Get my point? Because it's a law of the university and the ministry. Okay? So even if I am free, even if my work will not do any damage to the university, even then, I should not take any extra job because it is against the law of the company. Get my point? So you should not take any job which will harm your present job. You should not take any extra job which will harm your full-time job, and you should not do any job which is against the laws. Right? Okay. What else? Yeah. You should not try to attract people from other companies based on false information. Yeah, you are working in a project and there is a guy who is from the other company. He's a very good guy. He's very honest and he is very he's an expert in his field. And you want to hire him. Okay? And because you want to hire him, but you know he is getting more salary there, so he will not leave his company. You go and tell him, oh, if you come to our company, we will give you double the salary. Just so that he can leave his job and join. If he leaves his job, and even if you give him half the salary, he cannot leave you. He already left his job. Get the point? Okay, that is. Or we cannot give you that much salary, but our company will give you a house, or they will give you a car, or they will cover all your medical. Okay, so this is false information. Yeah, you want to hire someone, you give the correct information. If it is attractive for them, they will come. Otherwise, they will not. What my point? Okay. Engineers should not promote their own interests at the expense of dignity and integrity of the profession. You should not do anything which is beneficial for you and it will harm the profession. Okay. For example, you are developing a new software. Okay. And this software can be used for hacking accounts. Good thing or bad? No? Right? You don't want it? Sure? Okay. So good. So what you are doing now, if you develop the software, very beneficial for you. Right? You can hack into any account you want. Very beneficial, right? But what people will think about people in your field? They do not know that you are doing it. They will just say that people who are into software development are now doing things like this. What about it? Okay? It happened many years ago that still you will, if you read the old stories, you will read something like this. That see, the city was so beautiful, we had vegetation everywhere, plants and trees, and then people started making these factories. Okay? Factories where they have cut everything and they have occupied so much land and there's so much pollution and there's so much noise. Okay? If you read some articles or some old stories, you will read lines like this. Okay? So somebody thought of a factory, right? Let us make a factory. Okay? And they made a factory 1, 2, 3, and a lot of factories. What they did, it has some bad results on the society. And now people are blaming everybody who has a factory. What my point? Okay? So you do not, when you are designing something, when you are doing something new, you do not keep in mind what people will think about this thing as a profession. Okay? So you should not get involved in anything which can give you some benefit, but it will create the wrong impression of your field in the eyes of others. Clear? Okay? So for example, my personal experience, my field is traffic engineering. In Bahrain, if I tell someone my field is traffic engineering, he will say, see what you are doing with traffic. I was stuck in traffic for half an hour. Every morning I am stuck in traffic for 45 minutes. You guys are doing nothing. He is right, obviously, I am not doing nothing. Okay, but you get the point. Okay? Because people are seeing some bad effects of traffic, so any traffic engineer is bad for them. Yeah? Okay. We should always try to serve the public interest. Okay, we should always try to do something which is good for the public. Okay, and how do we do that? We should participate in things which are for common good. Okay, for example, charity work. Okay, somebody comes to you and they are building a new old age home, building a new orphanage, building a new what do you guys call it? Where people can come and drink water, sodia or something. So they are building something like this, building a new mosque or something. Okay, and they ask you can donate to them. Okay, this is part of public welfare. So public welfare is not only limited to your work. If somebody else is doing something good and you can participate, go ahead, participate. Okay, charity work, you can give your time, you can give your money, you can help them and so on. Okay, so anything which is related to civic affairs, you participate in them. Anything which is dealing with the health, safety of the people and their welfare, you should participate in them. Okay, you should not sign or stamp anything which is against the standards. Okay, because if it is against the standards, then public interest is at risk here. Why do we have standards for people, right? So people can be safe. I'm constructing a building. Why should I follow the standards of the ministry? Because ministry standards will make sure this building is safe. So if you are doing something which is against the standards, that will be harmful for people. So you should not take part into any activity which is against the standard, using your name or signing it or helping people do this type of thing. You should not take part into it. Okay. you should try to extend knowledge about your profession as much as possible. Okay. Now, for your term projects, you have taken some seminars, right? You have listened to some seminar, events, workshop, right? Why do you do this? You do not. You have a term project, right? You know that. Okay. So those seminars are given by who? They are engineers, and they are doing it for free. Okay. Why? The reason? This. They are trying to increase your awareness about the profession. Okay. So this is their ethical obligation. Informing students, especially students, obviously. But the seminar is open for everybody. I can attend it, a doctor can attend it. It's all open, right? All the seminars are open. Okay. Even if you have a seminar here in our college, even a person from medical college of health sciences can come and attend. You will not stop them, right? Okay. So they are open. So the purpose is, and some of these people, they write articles in newspapers, they write articles in magazines, or they have their own blogs nowadays. Right? So why are they doing this? To give you more information. Okay? To increase your information about the engineering profession and about their job, about their work. Okay? So this is part of their ethical responsibilities. One thing which I should have mentioned earlier as well, or it will come later. Let's see. Engineers should try to obey the principles of workable development and should participate in activities which will make the environment better for future generations. If there is something being done to protect the environment, to improve the environment, which will help future generations, you should take part into these activities. So they do plantation, they are doing some landscaping. I have met a couple of architects who have taken part in these sort of projects for free. So they provided their consultation and design for free. Okay, because it's good for the future generations, for the environment and so on. Okay, so you know, the design of walkways and design of parks and these things. Okay, so try to participate in these activities or participating in these activities as part of your professional obligation. Okay, you can do it even if it is for free. Just now I missed the last lecture, right? Yesterday. So we were doing something like this. Okay, there's some activity from the Ministry of Agriculture and Municipalities, the Baladia. Okay, and we went there, and they were asking us for ideas related to how to make the environment, the outside environment, cooler with energy efficient solutions for making the environment less hot, cooler. Okay, so we are participating, and not me, I'm not talking about me, there are many other people there. Okay, some of them are doing the judgment, some of them are participating. Okay, so they are doing it because of their professional obligation. It's a professional obligation to take part in activities which will be good for future generations. Okay, especially related to the environment. Okay, another professional obligation, you should avoid any activities or practice which can mislead the public. Okay, so you should not use any statement which can misrepresent the fact, or you should not hide any information. Okay, people, if you are making a public statement about anything, so you are only saying the good things, you are not saying the bad things. You know there are disadvantages, but you are hiding it. So this is called as misleading. What you are saying is true, yes, but this is not the complete truth. You are hiding something. Okay, so this is called as misleading. Okay, another way of misleading, I already mentioned a couple of times. You say something is very good. Very good means how much? Okay, this is also misleading. Okay, so talk in terms of facts and figures and make it complete. Okay, let the people decide. Same thing should be kept in mind when you are hiring people. When you will make the announcement for recruiting people, you need to keep the same thing in mind. Okay, so in the announcement you say we are one of the biggest companies in Bahrain, and your biggest project is 1,000 people. Okay, get the point? Okay, just want the good people to come. Okay, or you write in the announcement that we will give you the best salary in Bahrain. Okay, and you want to go from the company because their salary is not good. Okay, so keep the first rule in mind when you are making the announcements for the job hiring. Okay, keep the information complete. Okay, and facts and figures, complete and accurate. Okay, complete and accurate. And the same thing when you are doing anything for outside, when you're writing something for newspaper, when you are writing a blog, keep the same rule in mind. Okay, information which you are giving should be complete and accurate. So the first rule should be kept in mind in all cases. Yeah. Any information which is related to your project should not be disclosed without any consent from the interested parties. Okay. If you want to give any information to someone and this information belongs to some other party, you have to take their permission. Okay, even if you know it. Some people, okay, I know this, I know this, I know this. I know people who just want to impress others. See how much do I know. So they will give the information just to make themselves look better. Okay, so this is against the code of ethics. Yeah, so you already have information about a particular project. Okay, you are working on it. Now you left this company. Okay, so you cannot go to the other company and disclose the information of this project to get the job or to get the new project. What happened? When you are working there, you got that information. When you were working there, you got that information. Now you left this company. To use this information somewhere else, you need their permission. Okay, so you cannot say, okay, if you hire me, I'll give you this information. No, this is against the ethics. Okay, so their information remains with them, even if you are working there, not working there. Okay. Second is okay. So you, same thing here, we already mentioned. You cannot use the information from your previous projects to get a new projects or to get a new job. Okay, simple. Okay. So without getting the permission, obviously. Engineers should not be influenced in their professional bodies, in their professional duties because of conflict of interest. I already gave some examples of conflict of interest, right? Somebody give an example. Conflict of interest means what? Yes. Go on. This is also a case code of ethics. This is also a case code of ethics. Okay, you feel I am very smart. See, I am fitting in the class and I am doing this work. You are ruining both. You are not listening to the class. This is ruined. What you are doing, I am continuously talking in your ear, so you cannot concentrate here as well. So you are doing two things bad at the same time. Okay. Going back to the question, what conflict of interest means, give an example.
Hiring your cousin.
Hiring your cousin, okay. Or you are not hiring your cousin, you can hire your cousin. But you are in the hiring committee and your cousin is applying and you are there. So you cannot judge it. Okay? And there was an example from the last case study, in the last lecture, where the building went down and found that the engineer who was doing the design is the same one who is maintaining the record. So who is doing the design? Me. Who will put in the record? Me. So I didn't put it in the record, nobody knows. There is also a conflict of interest. Okay? What? So engineer should avoid these type of situations. Okay? How can you create conflict of interest? When you accept money or presents or gifts from people who are, who are connected with your project or who are connected with your company. Okay, I already gave the example of material suppliers. Okay, so you take some gift from a material supplier. Now, what he will expect in return, that you will give the order to this company now. Okay, so you are, by accepting his gift, you are creating a conflict of interest. Without the gift, everybody is equal, right? Without this gift, everybody is equal. But now you accepted something, now he is special, everybody else is. Okay, the other way around. Okay, you should not accept any commission or allowances from contractors or clients or anybody else in connection with your work. Something which you are already doing, it is part of your job. Something which you are already doing, it is part of your job. For doing that thing, you do not accept any extra payment from anybody. You do not accept any extra payment from anybody for doing this job. For example, you are the maintenance in charge of a building. Okay, and that building there are 100 people. Okay, 2 or 3 of them, they give you gifts, they ask you for dinner, and you go with them and so on. Okay, so what will happen? Something goes bad in their office, I'm the first one to do. Okay, others, no, you have to report and you have to wait for 1 week and so on. Okay, so maintenance is my job. Doing maintenance is my job. But if I tell, no, you want the work to be done today, give me 500 BD extra, then I will do it. No, this is my job. I cannot ask for any extra payment from anybody. Even if they are giving me, I will not accept it. Got it? Okay? Because if you accept it, then you have to do something in return. Okay? So we do not take anything extra from anyone for something which is part of my job, whether they are in the company or outside the company. Okay, you should not attempt to get a job or get promotion by doing something which is unethical. Okay, you should not request or propose a commission for getting the job or offering the job or hiring somebody. Okay, the second point I already mentioned earlier as well. You should not accept any part-time job, any part-time work which can go against your company. So you are working in one company and then you take a part-time job in another company which are against, like you are in the same field, you are competitors. Okay, I am a contractor, he is also a contractor. So I am doing a full-time job here and a part-time job with another contractor. Okay, so I cannot, they are against each other. Okay, either they will get the job or they will get the job. I cannot do work with both of them. Okay, you should not use the resources of your employer for something personal or for something for somebody else. Okay, so you have the excavator on the site. Okay, and your friend comes from another project. He says, my excavator is broken, I need it urgent, give it to me. And you say, okay, fine, take this. No, you cannot do this until you take the permission. Okay, and you cannot do this for your own benefit as well. Okay, so you cannot use company's laptop and internet to watch Netflix. Okay, so all these are against this thing. Okay, you should not try to destroy other engineers' reputation just to benefit yourself. Okay, if there is something wrong, if somebody is doing something wrong, you report it with facts and figures in the correct way, and that's it, you leave it. Okay, there was a question in the exam as well, a part of the question, that if somebody was absent for half a day, he is not informed. Okay, now you can recommend that he was, a warning should be given, whatever the necessary work is, you do this. Okay, and then you keep quiet. Another way to do it is, you go to your boss, or you tell your boss, you call your boss, I am trying to call this person and he is not answering my job. Because of him, so much work is not done, and so on. So what are you doing now? You're trying to damage his reputation in front of the boss, just so that you can look good. Okay. So even if something is going wrong on your project, on your site, you have to follow the correct procedure and be impersonal. Okay. Don't get personal, start calling people and telling them, so see how much work I'm doing and so on. Okay. You just stay disconnected. Yeah, you should not review the work of another engineer for the same client. Okay, if you are two engineers who are working for the same client, okay, so he did the design, okay, and then the client says, okay, now you look at it, okay, and then you say, see, he did not do this, see, he did not do this, he did not do this. What is happening? The client will feel that this person did not do a good job. If that engineer left the job, now you are the only one, no problem, he already left the job. Okay. But he is still on the job, and then you are looking at his design and you are making, pointing out bad things in the design. This is against him. Okay. Whether you want it or not, it will go against him. So we try to avoid it. Okay. Yeah. If somebody is hired to review the work for someone else, so there was a design firm, they hired that design firm to do the design, they got the design, now they are asking you for review, it's fine, because their work is already finished. You have to do the review and start the job, this is fine, okay, and if it is part of your employment duties, then you can or you should do it, otherwise you should avoid it. Okay. If you have to make you are in the sales, you are in the purchasing department, you have to purchase materials, so you have different sources or different types of materials. So obviously you will make comparison, right? So the comparison is not included here. Comparison you can do, obviously. I will do comparison, I will select one of the materials, right? Okay, so this is allowed. So this is allowed, this is allowed, this is not allowed. Okay, both aspects are given here. Okay, engineers should take part in activities. Engineers should take responsibility of the things which are under their control. Okay, and they can ask for compensation if it was not their fault. If it was their fault, obviously they will take the responsibility and take the blame as well. Okay. Again, going back to the exam, there was a question, they delay on the site. Okay, and the other section I gave them that there was the ground problem, the ground data problem. Okay, both these things are out of the hand of the engineer. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you will leave the project. It doesn't mean you will leave the project. Okay, this is still your project. The responsibility still is with you. Okay, so you tell the client, okay, we face this problem, how to solve it. Okay, and you get the new design and start working and so on. You cannot say, see, there was a problem, now I'm leaving the project, I will not do the project. You cannot run away from your responsibility. Okay? If the problem was because of you, you will take the responsibility and the blame as well. Okay? So for example, the work was late because of your negligence. Okay? You did not make the order on time. You needed some material on the site, but you were late in making the order. This is your responsibility. The delay is because of you. So you will take the responsibility. Yeah, it happened. I will try to correct it, but you will take the blame as well. Okay. So maybe in order to make up the time, you have to put double shifts now. So this is your job. Got it? Taking responsibility means or can mean two things. One is I will take the responsibility of my mistake. So I take the responsibility and I will take the blame as well, and whatever compensation is, I cannot claim. I cannot say, give me extra money, I'm putting double shift. No, this was because of you. Okay? And the other is, I will take the responsibility, but it's not because of me. I did not make any mistake. I take the responsibility, but I can make the compensation from the client. I can ask the client to compensate. Okay? This thing happened. Okay? Now the ground condition has changed. It's not my fault. I will still do your work, but I need extra money or I need extra time. Both of them are under responsibility. Okay, both of them are considered responsible actions. Okay. So it is your obligation to fulfill all the laws of the country. When you are taking responsibility or doing something like this, yeah, this is your duty that you must follow all the laws and regulations of the country. Okay. You should not use any association with someone else to hide your acts. Okay. So you want a specific material on the side, obviously you have it. Okay, but then you ask someone else, okay, you make a fake company name, okay, and I'll make the order to you and you give me the material. So we will both get the money. Okay, get my point. I have some material, I want to sell it, but I cannot do it because I'm in the project. So I ask someone, okay, you make a company name and you make the quotation, this material will come from you and you will share the money. Okay, so you are doing something which is unethical and you are using somebody else. Got it? Clear? You cannot use anybody, non-engineer, to do something which is considered unethical for you. Okay? It is unethical for me, so I will use somebody else. No. Still it is unethical. You cannot do it. Okay. If you are using somebody else's work, you must give them credit as well. Okay, if you are using somebody else's work, you must give them credit as well. Okay, for example, you are using somebody's invention. Somebody invented something new, or somebody made a new process, somebody made a new method. Okay, you are using it, you have to give them credit. Okay, you have to acknowledge them that this is not from me, this is from them, or this is from he or she. Okay, so wherever you are using their method, their writing, their invention, you have to put their name. This is from them. The design is the property of the client. The project data is the property of the boss, the employer. The design is the property of the client. The project data is the property of the employer, the contractor, whoever is working on the project. You cannot use it without their consent. Okay, so I am working in a consultant firm. My boss hired me to do the design of a factory. Okay, I did the design. Now this design does not belong to me. This design does not belong to my boss. This design belongs to who? The client. Okay. So for a new project, I cannot use it without his permission. Alright? Why it is his property? Because he paid me. I did the design because I was paid, right? Who paid me? The client. Or who paid my boss? The client. Okay. So you go to some other organization or you go to some other project, you want to use this design or this data, you have to take the permission. Same thing with the project data, you have to take the permission of your boss. Because boss was paying for the project, right? Your boss was paying for the project. Okay. The data and the design belongs to who paid. Who was paying. I cannot use it just because I was working there. Okay. What else? Yeah. You can make improvements and changes and then use it. It's allowed. So there was a design for a factory. I took it and I improved on it. Now the improvement is mine. So I can use it now. It's not the same. Okay, but you cannot use it as it is. You cannot use it as it is. Okay, if there are some changes, it's allowed. We already covered this. Yeah, and you can get into an agreement and you can agree that yeah, you can use this data and you can use this and so on and so forth. So a lot of times we are doing research and we ask the companies or the ministry to give us the data and they give us. Okay, but the agreement is that you will use this data for research. It's an agreement, they are giving us the data, we are using it. It's allowed. Okay, so you have to take the permission and they can give you the data with an agreement, no problem. Okay. I will give you some other, the code of ethics from two other bodies as well. The first one is American Society of Civil Engineers. We will not go in details. Why? You will see. Okay, we don't need to go in so much details. So code of ethics, it's an American organization, but it is for civil engineers only. Okay, so now you will see if there are any changes. Okay, the first one, act with integrity, honor and dignity. You have seen it, right? The same statement was in the earlier code as well. You have to act with integrity, honor and dignity. Same. Only dignity is increased as the new word here. Okay. You should use your knowledge and skill to enhance environment and public welfare. Same. Okay. You have to be honest and impartial, neutral. You have to be honest and impartial. You cannot take somebody's side. You have to be fair to everybody. Okay? Clear? Whether they are client or boss or public or whatever. You should try to increase the competence and prestige of engineering profession. Again, something I mentioned earlier. Try to do things which are good for your profession. Don't engage in things which are bad for your profession. And I gave the example of the hacking software. Somebody is creating a software which is good for planning. Somebody is creating software which is good for hacking. They are both creating software, right? Okay, but this one is good for the profession. This one is bad for the profession. Okay, it gives giving bad reputation for the profession. Okay, yeah, supporting professional and technical societies. The point which I did not mention, it was not written like this in the earlier code. It is written. It is written somewhere. It is written that you should take part into activities which are good for public, right? And you should share information. But here they are saying you should support professional and technical societies and organizations. For example, University of Bahrain. It's a technical organization, right? They provide engineering education. Okay. So we ask companies to allow us to do site visits. They allow us. Do they have to? Is it part of their job? No. It's part of their ethics. Okay. Engineers come and give us guest lectures. Okay. They are supporting our organization. It's not part of their job. Okay. It's not part of their job. We have a society which is called as Bahrain Society of Engineers. Okay. And by the way, you can take membership there. As a student, you are allowed to take. It's very cheap. And they do a lot of activities and seminars and workshops. It's good. Okay. People who are working there are also engineers. They are also engineers. And again, they are doing it voluntarily. It's not like they are paid. Their president is an engineer, their secretary is an engineer, everybody is an engineer, and they just do it for the sake of supporting engineering societies. Okay? So taking part in these things is an ethical requirement. Okay. The fundamental canons according to ASCE, American Society of Civil Engineers. Now you go through them, I believe you will not find anything new, right? Anything new here? Safety, health, welfare, same point. You should perform in your area of competence. Don't do the work for electrical engineers. If you are issuing any public statement, be objective and truthful. Same, right? Okay. Yeah. If you are your client, for your boss, you should be a trustworthy person. They can trust you with whatever they are giving you. Their money, their resources, their time, their job. They can trust you with all. So you can see all of them are common, right? Yeah. Okay. Anything new here? Okay, only the wording is changed. For example, the first one, if I want to make myself look good, okay, there are two ways to do it. There are two ways to make myself look good, okay. You see two lines, right? This one is shorter, this one is bigger, right? How can I make this bigger? And make it bigger, right? Okay. This is one way of making it bigger, right? What is the other way of making it bigger? There's another way of making it bigger.
Shouting.
Shortening the other line. Okay, so the first one is ethical. This one is unethical. If I want to make myself look good, I should become good. If I want people to know I am an expert, I should become an expert. Okay? But I am not so good at my job, but I am very good at pointing out others. See, he is not doing his job. See, he is something. See, he is not talking to you nicely. Okay? These are negative tactics. The positive, I come on time, I do my job, and everybody knows I try to learn new things. Good. This will make you better, and people will think you are better. Good. But if you are doing the other way around, okay, just pointing out fingers at others, and you are just chilling and relaxing, okay, you are not doing any hard work. This is wrong. Got my point? Okay? So, yeah, you should try to honor the integrity of your profession and do not take any extra benefit from anyone, corruption, bribery, whatever. Okay, and you should, yes, you should continue professional development in your career, and you should help others for their development as well. Okay, so I have an engineer under me, and this is very common, by the way. People think that if this person who is working under me, if he learns everything I know, he will take my job. That's true. Okay, and this is why many times people know you and they will not give you the job. They know you are good. They know you. You are asking them, I need a job. They will not hire you because they know you are good. So if you get the job, then you will become their competitor. Maybe your boss will give you a higher position than him. It happens. True. Okay, absolutely true. Okay? In many positions. So this is, according to them, this is wrong. Okay? Somebody who is junior and he can learn more from you, or he can go and do some other activities and he can become a better engineer, let them do it. Support them. Okay? But the first point should also be kept in mind. You will lose your job not because the others are more developing, because you are not developing yourself. Okay? People will lose their job not because of others, because of themselves. You have heard the argument, because of AI we will lose our jobs. You have this argument? Okay? So, you will lose your job not because of AI. You will lose your job because you don't know how to use AI. So if you still want your job, learn how to use the new things. Got my point? So develop yourself and help others to develop themselves as well. They will not be harmful to you. Okay, the last example is from Bahrain Society of Engineers. I already mentioned them. They have their own code of ethics. I don't know why they call it their own code of ethics, but anyways. Any new thing? Honesty, integrity, dignity. First point, use your knowledge for welfare. Okay. You should be honest and impartial for public and client and everything. Try to increase your competence. Try to develop yourself. Okay. Anything new? Okay. Their fundamental principles: maintain health, safety, welfare. Same things. Only perform in your area. Continue professional development and help others. And you should be faithful and trustful to your clients and your bosses and everybody. And maintain confidentiality. So the first one was very detailed. Everything was a separate point. Here is more summarized. Okay. Yeah. Build your reputation on merit, not by pointing others, or not on false information. Okay. Whatever you are, try to build on that, the real you. Okay. Avoid deceptive acts, avoid cheating, avoid fraud, and so on and so forth. public statement should be truthful and objective. And the last one is you should consider environmental aspects, and when you're performing your duties, make sure that none of your work is harmful for the environment. Okay, everything again, I've already given examples for all of them. Clear? Clear? Okay. Now, so I showed you 3 different societies, their code of ethics, and almost 99% were common. Okay, only the wording was changed. What is commonly written in all of them about how you should behave? Give me some examples, some points, common points.